Hello and welcome to this very interesting episode of me talking about people's paintings and doing a bit of a critique, which is going to be fun. And before I start, I just want to say that a critique of a painting is not me saying, oh, this painting's bad, or oh, this is awful, you should do better. No. This is just me looking at your painting and seeing how it could be improved, maybe. Because it's not an exact science painting, and we all have our own tastes and ideas, and so just take it with a pinch of salt, really. And the people's that paintings that have put forward, thanks for helping me out doing this episode, because it's your paintings that I'm using, and hopefully you get something out of this episode, fingers crossed. So I thought I would do something on critiquing, because that's something I wanted. When I was learning to paint, I had nobody to send my painting to go, oh yeah, you need to do this or you need to do that. So I thought, if I was starting, I would want that. So I'm doing it. So anyway, here we go. Here's I put your name here because I'm really bad at pronouncing names, especially surnames. So we'll say Jesper. I won't attempt the surname because I'd probably get it wrong. And but yeah, here's his painting. Let's knock the name off. And I really like this picture. There's a lot I like about it, and the more I started looking at it, the more I liked it. And so one thing that's perfect about this, I think, is the colour harmony, because there's not many colours used, because there's mainly used like an orangey colour and different values of that colour, and it works really well. And then I started to look at it more, and I realised, I think that's a castle. Pretty sure that's a castle there. And then I was like, oh, that's really cool, having a castle built into this mountain. And then so there isn't really that much to critique, is there? That's why I like this one. I wanted it to be an easy one to start me off. And so the only thing I could see, possibly, is in this area here. I could probably fill it in, see what happens. So I did. And I thought maybe this line is a bit more pleasing than having it sort of jutting in. So I thought I'll do that. And then, after thinking about it though, and I thought, well, this is a castle. Maybe if I just put in another layer and get myself a brush. Maybe what I could do is, if this is a castle up here, maybe I could put in a few little boats in the water, and I'll put these little reflections. Just doing a quick go over a few boats, maybe another one there. So you could sort of play with that idea, but I thought if there was some boats in the water or coming along here, then it would sort of give you an idea that there's a population at that castle, or maybe these boats are coming to attack. I don't know. It's another idea. And then I thought of something else. Here we go. I'm picking some blue. And what I thought was, maybe if this castle was lit with some blue light, here in the windows, that might be interesting. No, I don't like it. On, off, on, off. prefer it how it is. So, yeah. I would leave it like this. I really like. There's not really much to do on this one, like I said. And what I tend to do then is when I've done like some changes, I tend to merge them together and then have a look at them on and off. I definitely don't like those windows. Bad idea. But you got to try these things. That's the beauty of painting, isn't it? You can try things to see if it works, and then you can decide if that's how you want it. So there you go. But then again, you could think this area, maybe that is the harbour. So if we left it like that, as it is, maybe no, not blue. Go for that kind of colour. Maybe if that is where it is, maybe there's a few boats. A little bit darker. Maybe the boats could be in the harbour here. Something like that anyway. Probably would want those to be darker actually, looking at it. Something like that. But let's say the boats are in the harbour there. Maybe. I think I prefer this one. But something to think about, isn't it? So let's go to the second one. The second one is another really nice picture. Really like this one by Barb, and I really like this water, and I like a lot of it actually. I'm a fan of other people's paintings, especially more than my own. So, what could you do with this painting? I thought to myself, well, I was having a look, I was like, well, what about this light? Maybe you can push that light onto more areas. Got some light here. Maybe I can put that light on there, so that's what I did. I sort of lit this up. Now, this painting was photographed and it is a bit shiny. You know what oil paints are like. This is oil painting. Even acrylics are a bit shiny as well sometimes when you take pictures, so I don't know if these colours are exact. They're probably not in areas, so some things that might not have needed to change. But anyway, I thought that brings that out a bit more. And then I thought maybe I could do that up here in the building. And there was a few things changed there. So I lit up the building a bit more too, because there's light there. And then I changed this wheel a bit. Now what I did, if I just flick off, you see the water on the top of the wheel. I don't think you would see that because the water splashes in here. If I think this is the type of wheel that it is. The water splashes in there on the wheel, and then it goes round and then comes out the end. So the water's coming from here. So it's probably channeled somewhere. I don't know. It's quite complicated. So what I thought is, if I turn it back on again, you probably only see the splashing of the water going in and then the water coming out. And I broke it up a little bit, if you can see. It's quite a solid mass of water. I kind of broke it up thinking about the slats, if that's what you call them. Yeah. And what else did I do? Oh, I played with the water a bit, but I don't think it improved it in any way or made it better or worse. Like I said, you can't really tell how light this is because of being a photo. And then this area is quite blown out, so I just darkened it so I could sort of see what it would look like. Just zoom out a bit. And then the other thing I thought, this blue, again it might be the lighting, but I thought it's a bit dark for how light the water is. I would say that needs to be lighter as well, because it would be blue sky in the background. And so I blued that up a bit, and then Oh yeah, just a little thing. Go back in again. I'll flick this on and off so you can see. Certain areas I've added a bit of green, because when I look at rocks in water and they're getting splashed all the time, you tend to get algae down the bottom. So I thought maybe something to think about, isn't it? And then also there's little lines in the water to give it a bit of action. I'll just take that off and then on again. So there's a bit of light, like these lines give it a bit of sploshiness. It's a technical term, and they're really easy, just using like a liner brush or a thin rigger brush or something, and just do little arcs like this. So if I was using, I'll grab some of that white and then use a brush that's different. Use that brush. So I was using this. I just do lines like this, and then you have them sort of crossing over like that when you're painting, and then it kind of all works together. Then cross over, you get like these little splashes. Anyway, yeah, the technical term is splashes. Also, the sky, the light blue, I would have used a mixture of ultramarine blue and cerulean blue and white to make kind of a light blue. Just if you're wondering. So let's what I'll do is I'll duplicate that layer so I can see it on the top, so then you can zoom out and look at the whole painting and go changes, no changes, changes, no changes, and you can work out which is best, and it's up to you then. So there we go, nice painting there. I've never actually tackled anything as complex as this one. It's made me want to do one. Anywho, here we go. Kim Norris, another really nice picture. These are really nice paintings, and I do feel a little bit harsh critiquing them, but I did ask, so yeah. We want to learn anyway, don't we? We all want to get better. So here we go. A painting, and I think, well, by Kim Norris, and I'm pretty sure she said in her message that she's only done, maybe she said it was her first scene beach or third, I can't remember, but it's pretty good, isn't it? I really like it. So let's show you what I did anyway. The first thing my eye went to is the body of the girl. And not because I was wiggling my eyebrows, because I noticed she was topless. But oh dear. And then I thought there's something not right with this arm. So what I do, I'll show you. Boink. Is and I'll make it a bit clearer for you. Boink. I create like a skeletal structure of the body when I create people, and it makes it easier for you to know where everything goes. Let's just use that brush. Make myself another layer so I can show you what I mean. Yeah, that all dark colour. So what I would do when I'm constructing somebody, have like their head and then neck area, and the one, say one of the shoulders, this is a different angle to that, say one of the shoulders is here, and then the arm comes to there, and maybe the arm there. I sort of think like this, and then there's the other side, probably a slight angle we're in, so we can see other side. I can put that in. Oh, why did I choose that angle? That's a right mess. But you can see what I mean. You can do that using tracing paper on your painting, or you can bring it in Photoshop and do this sort of thing. This is the way that I was shown, where you get like a structure underneath like this, and then you've got this piece here, and then you've got the hip area, and then you've got the bones. So you can, using that and practicing regularly, you can start creating character poses, all in different types of poses, using just this, just so you get your head around it, and then you can start adding in all the muscles and things afterwards, and it helps you out a little bit. And you kind of start dressing the person. Anyway, I won't spend too long doing this, because I could spend hours. Another thing you could do is use something like these body dolls, and you can pose them, or you can get other types of dolls, wooden mannequins and stuff, just to give you an idea of the structure. So yeah, that's what I did. So you can see I drew the skeleton on top and tried to work out what I thought wasn't quite right. And it is a challenge to draw people in any way, because our eyes, being people, we recognise other people and we can see what's wrong as well. So you can't fake it, you have to do a good job, otherwise someone goes, oh, that's not right. Take it from me, I've had that quite a lot. So there we go. So there's this little bit of a wave in the water. I didn't like it for some reason. I think it's because it stands out or something. So I took it up. It looks like a robot. Let's get rid of the robot. I've lost my place now. Yeah, so I took it out. I didn't think it was needed. I thought, because I felt like this was quite a soft painting, and so I added these light waves, nice and easy. Just a little bit of a. So I noticed there was dark here, unless I put that in. Let's just check. No, it was there. So that bit of dark there looked like a wave to me. So I thought, oh, I'll put a bit of a wave in there, and then there's lots of little swells that you could see, and you could put a little bit of a line on top, or and then I dragged back a little bit just to give it a wave effect. But it's not too big, and it's not splashing. So your eye is still going here, which is on the red. And the good thing about this as well, the red and the green, complementary colours. Yippity-doo. So next thing that I did. Nothing on that layer. There we go. So what I've done here, you can see I've used my skeleton that I built, and I've coloured things out and removed things and shaped things and tried to make it how I think the body should be. It's not perfect by any means. And then I added a bit more warmth to the tone of the body, and then I thought about what the light hitting the arm and everything, and I think I added a bit. I was messing with the light, I think, on that layer. And then I lit it even more, but you know, it's up to you. You don't have to go as bright as that, depends, doesn't it? Get some really, you could be someone like me who goes red first to make the skin red. Might clash with a dress, but then again, I wouldn't wear a dress. So, okay. Moving on. I did do something with speaking of the dress, one of these layers, that one, if you look, the dress sort of goes dark, where I imagine the buttocks to be. So I pushed the dress out using colour to imagine that the body's underneath. And when I was going life drawing a lot, trying to get good at it, I'm still trying. The teacher there said something that I've never really thought about, which I should think about. And there's a lot of things I get told, and I'm amazed that I didn't think of it. But anyway, he was saying to try and imagine you're drawing the 3D space that it's in. To stop, instead of just adding highlights and shadows and having fun, like I always do, enjoy putting highlights on. Think about the shape of the body that's underneath the clothes, and if there is no clothes, the shape of the body. Trying to think of it in a 3D space. It's hard though. And then the hair, I just added a bit more colour to it and tried to think the light's going and splashing the colour. Hair's a hard one as well. You've got to think of it as clumps rather than lots of hair. I'm working on that as well, actually. You just got to get a load of pictures of people and just paint loads of people's haircuts. It's the only way, isn't it? So well done. Let's look at it before and after, see if it does make any difference. So you can choose whether you think the changes make it better or worse, and if you, what would you do? Maybe you can comment below. So here's another one. Robert Noodle Atkinson. I think your question was, how can I make it look more realistic? So, portraits. What a beast they are. They're hard. Portraits are hard. And the reason they're hard is because I said earlier about the face. People just recognise if it's wrong or not. You can't get away with it. It's really annoying. But something I use, and I'm going to draw it now, is like the mouth is your guideline. And this part of the mouth here, when it runs up, it should be going onto the eye, iris. It should be hitting that part. And then the nose, when you run up the nose, it goes to the pit of the eye. So we've got this eye. The nose would come there, say, and then the eye, the mouth, or that part of the mouth would go there. So you've got to kind of think things like that. There is more than that. They're the two that I always remember, so they're the ones I always use, thinking about these bits first. And then another thing we always find is, I'll show you an example of what I used to do, because I bet there's people doing this. Do the nose like really long, so you have the eyes. This makes a good character, actually. I love doing characters. But the nose is really long, and you can't understand what's going on. I mean, I've exaggerated it there, but a lot of people do a really long bridge of nose when they're making faces up. I don't know why. So let's get rid of all that. And then I had a go, I think. Oh, no. That's not it. That's not it. Ah, here we go. I had a go at him putting a face on there to try and make it look more realistic-ish. I can still see issues, to be honest. But if you look at these things, let's get all teachery and use red. Yeah, red. Oh, I'm not even on red. Using red. So if you look at this part of the nose, and then this, where the eye is, we're getting somewhere, aren't we? We're getting that kind of position, and then the eye space. Oops. The eye space, the space between the eyes is generally an eye, so we've kind of got that as well. And there's so many differences in people's faces though, so if you're actually painting somebody, you got your reference, do what I do and get your ruler out or your proportion divider and measure everything. The other thing is, if we zoom out, don't want that on anymore. I'll just knock it back and forth. So again, this is a photo, so I don't know what it's like, but it's quite dark, and the problem is pastels, they're hard. I find pastels hard, and the colours. The main problem is if you're using your fingers. I don't know if you are. You can start mixing your colours, and it all starts going dull, and you want to try and keep your colours clean, and it's not easy with pastels. They are a challenge. The other thing to look out for is the nose. These parts on. If you look at that one, there's no. What are these parts of the nose called? Nose wings. You see that part of the nose there? It's not there on that one, so you could always flesh that one out. If we would say we was doing this one, I'm awful on Photoshop. I'm still learning really. So because you've got it on this side, you've got some shape there, but on the other side there isn't. So, and then I don't think you would see so much below, so it'd be more like that. But you can see how, like, using the guidelines, say that to that, so that would be there, and then I think obviously the chin would be a bit bigger. But you can see how just these simple guidelines can help, like the pit of the eye to the nose, the pupil should be sort of in line with this, like there and there. So you can start playing around like that, and but anyway, you know what I mean. So you get some. Oh my god! Having too many cups of coffee. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, but this needs more work. That eye's not right still. But I just wanted to show you for proportion wise. Takes me a long time to get a portrait right. Also, look at your neck size. Neck. Anyway, let's move on from that one, because it's actually scaring me a little bit. And now we have this one by Lynn Seymour. I really like this. Painting an octopus is difficult, because I've done one before, and it is quite hard. So, what did I do to change things? Well, the first thing is, right, I think of the story. So how can I make this more dramatic, for one? And then the other thing is, how can I make the moonlight a little stronger. And I think you have put a glow around the moonlight here. And so anyway, there's a lot to think about when you're doing paintings, and sometimes too much to think about. So anyway, the sails. I thought this part of the painting looks a little bit too black and white to me. So, and considering how much colours here and in the sky, it's got that vibrance, and this is quite dark, so I thought maybe get a bit of light on the sails. And I was still thinking about the octopus, because this is a nice painting of an octopus. It's a nice portrait, but this octopus doesn't, to me, look like it's attacking the boat. It looks like it's relaxing. But then, it's quite hard to find a reference picture of an octopus attacking a boat, so you've got to make your own, which is hard, again. So I painted it out. I'm sorry. And then the moon. I had the moon. A lot of everybody, well, not everybody, a lot of people do this, where they start the light thin and they get bigger as they come down. So they're creating what's the word? Oh, perspective. They're creating light perspective, but there is actually no light perspective when it's moonlight onto the water. Same with sunlight. It's the same thickness. It's always the same thickness. So whatever your sunlight or moonlight is, it's always the same thickness all the way down on your water. It's a good tip, that is. So then, my favourite, I lit it up a little bit. I had a nice mist on the water. I like mist. And then I thought, maybe if I darken the sky a bit, which will bring out the boat a bit more. So if you look at that, and then that, it just seems to bring that boat out more. All the clouds point to the boat. And then the moon looks brighter now. And then I started to add some more dark blue into the water, which I used from the sky. And then I thought I'd put a bit of a glow in the water. And then I thought, let's light up this side of the boat, because the moon's going to hit some of it. I'll just zoom in so you can see. Just to show you. So it's just lit up here. I think that extra bit of light brings it out a little bit more. And then I darkened the arms of the octopus a bit. And sort of added a bit of darkness here. Then I added some lines in the water, like I was saying in the other one, just to make it look a bit more choppier, to break up that block of white as well. And then I added more mist. I love mist. All my paintings from now on are going to be misty. It's going to be like my thing, fog. And then I added a bit of more darkness in there, and more lightness. Dark light, which is normal for me, always switching. And then I added this great big horrible octopus, and I thought it looks a bit more menacing, doesn't it? I thought. And then I added a bit of murkiness because it looked a bit too bright, so I did that murkiness and a bit of light there, sort of bending this light round and hitting that. And then that's Lynn's name. And then you could totally go on and on and on with this, because something, when I'm looking at it now, I think to myself, oh, it'd be nice if there was some like, let's just get a brush. It'd be nice if it had some like spots or something on it. Put it behind that mist. Yeah, it'd be nice if there was some like spots on it or something, and then I haven't spent the time to put in all those suckers and stuff. And I could darken it on this side a bit more. Maybe, not sure, but you could totally do a lot more to this. It's just an idea to make this more of a aggressive octopus, I suppose. That's my thought anyway. I mean, I still like the original. It's just which one makes you feel scared for the boat? This one or this one? Anyway, it's just an idea. This could be a relaxed octopus that just drags boats down for breakfast. And so there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, this is my first critique episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got little tips out of it. And I've enjoyed doing it because I'm learning as I'm doing them actually. And I'm going to do some more of these because I've got quite a few pictures to go through. So this is the first one. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in another one. Cheers, bye.